Okay, this video was requested by Violin Twinner, and it's on thirds. So I'm going to take the Beethoven Violin Concerto, first movement, and show you what thirds are. So there's a passage in there on the first page at the top that goes like this. So those thirds, all of those are thirds. So what is a third? Basically, when you take the scale, all of those 8 notes, what you're doing is you're going up the scale. Instead of going up the scale one scale step at a time, you're going up 2 scale steps and then 1 back. 2 scale steps, 1 back. So 2 scale steps, 1 back. 2 up, 1 back, and so forth. So then you get that. Although if you're going to play at an actual scale, it would be. So you get that the G sharp there. So now, how do you practice scale thirds? I don't really know, except the way that I was taught by one of my teachers, if I remember correctly, was to do it in different rhythms. So sometimes I'd go, and then immediately afterwards I would do, and then you can also do it with groups, or you can mix it up again. And as you can see, it kind of messes you up. But if you do it right, you don't have to practice it that. So that particular one, I'm going to have to practice a little bit slower. So there we go. I got it. And so that versus. And then when you mix it all up like that, then when you're doing, it makes it a lot easier. So my biggest recommendation when you're practicing thirds is to do it really slowly. And that's one of my biggest problems, is I always forget to do it slowly. So if you've got a metronome, I'd probably start it at quarter note equals maybe 50, and just, I mean, it's monotonous, but what it does is it really ingrains in your hand that feeling, particularly if you're not used to it. It teaches your hand, your muscle memory, how to do it, so that when you have a run in a performance, you don't really have to think about it. So if I were to, let's say for sake of argument, I don't know how to do thirds, and I get up on stage and I'm really nervous, and then when I have to play, and I think about every note, there's no way in anywhere that you'll be able to do musicality at the same time. So what you should be able to do after you get really good at this, you should be able to just rattle off the thirds just like that, and be able to just go through it and say, hey, you know what, this is easy. This is easy. And so now I'm going to think about the musicality. Okay, so something like that, and I ought to go back and practice that Beethoven.